Hi, welcome back to RLR Creations. I'm Claire, and in today's video I am going to be making the Julep tote bag by RLR Creations. Now this is a fantastic structure to it, and such a unique, oh that's the inside of the bag sticking up, such a unique top to it. So yeah, I've made two. I've done one all in fabric, and I mixed up the two panels, but you can do it however you want. So this one's all in fabric, and then this one, which I make in the video, is in vinyl and fabric, and is the way round that the pattern says to do the different materials. It's exactly the same front and back. You have nice big inside, you have a slip pocket, you have a zipper pocket, and it also has a zip that closes it up. And you also have these two amazing little front pockets. You've got one there and exactly the same on the other side. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you for watching this, if you watch it. I did forget, no, I forgot to press record on the very last step, so you don't see me stitch round the lining to these two bits together. You see me pin it, you just don't see me sew it. I thought I'd pushed the button and I hadn't. I do apologise, my voice goes a couple of times in the video. It's still not great, but it's better than it was, so we're getting there slowly. I just want to thank Rachel for giving me permission to make hers and for letting me be a pattern tester. So I really hope that this video, you enjoy this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's like really exciting. So yeah, I hope you like this, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Okay, so I just thought I would point this out to you when we start. This exterior panel A piece, I normally cut, I might fold two pieces over and then cut them separately, but you can't. You have to cut out each one of these pieces separately, because this will be the left part of your bag. Your left part of the bag, left side, and then your right side panel you need to cut out exactly the same way, because that will be your right side of the bag, and you need to make sure you cut both of these out the same way. And then with your C pieces, your lining pieces, you need to cut two like this, then flip it over and cut two like that. So this one you can't necessarily fold, or you definitely can't fold over in half on this one, because then you get a mirror image, and we don't want a mirror image. We need exactly like this. So that's what you need to do for cutting those bits out. So let's start with the handles. It's been a while since I've done handles like using the fabric, but as I had lots of vinyl, I thought I would use vinyl this time. Now because I'm using vinyl, can't really iron it, and can't sorry, brain is not working. And what can't I do? can't remember what I was going to say. So we will start again. I've drawn a line halfway through, halfway between the two, and I've put sticky tape down. So this is the first time that you've done handles. This will be how you do them. If you're using fabric, you can use an iron, but as I am using a vinyl, and it's quite a thick vinyl, then you can do it you need to use double-sided tape or something to help you just keep it down. Right. If you're using a vinyl that is quite a thin vinyl, this I know will be, what I meant to do, this I know will be okay, because it's quite a thick vinyl. Then you can I'm really sorry, my brain is just not working. We'll try again. Right, so you're going to draw a line down the middle, put the double-sided tape, and then we're going to stick it. If your vinyl is thinner than this vinyl, then quite often what I will do is I will run an inch thick piece of waterproof canvas, just a strip, and lay it down, and then fold it with the canvas, and that just gives the strength to the strap that is needed. But this is a thick vinyl and it's not required. So that's how you fold a strap, and then just pin it. I'm going to take it to the machine. Take it to the machine, and then going to up your top length stitch. And you don't sound very happy. Hold on, let me sort my machine out. Okay, so I worked out why the sewing machine wasn't working. There was no bobbin in there. So I'm going to make it up to the construction, top length stitch, which is about 3.5 for me. And then I'm going to grab some scissors. I'm just going to even that end off. Can edge coat it if you want. I'm just going to leave it, and then I'll do the next one. So I folded the line in, folded the line, and then just folding to the line. Best to start in the middle. Oh, I forgot the other side of this. See, it's been that long since I last made a strap. Right, now I will remember to carry on with this one. I do apologise if my brain is jumping all over the place. I've lost my voice 3.5, almost 4 months ago, and I've done very little sewing, so we're getting back on the horse together here. So I do apologise if my voice goes whilst I'm sewing. And I'm going to come down. Twist, and then back down the other side. And then I'm just going to even up my ends, cut off my threads. And now we're going to put that to one side for now. That's your straps done. Okay, so now we're going to want our E handle connectors and our D rings. And we're going to place our D rings down. And I'm going to, she says if she can get the lid off the glue, I'm going to just put some glue here and then fold it down in the middle. Again. And then what I will do is I will stitch them when I attach them to the bag. So you can take them to the machine now and stitch across here as close as you can, but I like to do it with my sewing machine. I like to do it when I put it on the bag, so we just have the one line of stitches to add it on. So that's your E handle connectors done. So now we can go on to the next bit. Okay, so now we're going to get our B pieces and we are going to transfer onto the back this red line here. So I've drawn on top of it so that I can mark it. And the other thing I also do, I write top there. Because of my dyslexia, I get a bit confused over where what is. So now we're going to turn it over again, make sure we match up. Was I in camera then? Probably not, sorry. Going to match up our pieces, bring it down. I've drawn a line on this side to mark there, and the other thing I do, as I just said, but I didn't know if I was in frame, is I write top so that I know that that is the top, because when I made my first one of these I got really confused, which isn't hard for me if my brain decides it's not going to work. So we should have 2 pairs. Yeah, so we got 2 that way, 2 that way. I can't remember, but anyway, we want them it's easier to mark them upside down, and then this red mark here, draw a line there, and then line up your piece of paper with your fabric, and on the wrong side draw a line. So this one is this side up, so let's just bring it down a bit, mark it, and then I'm marking it with a biro, but I'm marking it within the seam allowance, so I'm not too bothered. I like biros, they don't disappear on you. There we go. Right, so now you've done that, we are going to go on to the next step. Okay, so we're going to need our 2 B pieces and 2 of our C pieces. Now what you want to do to make it a bit easier for you is you want to put them so they're both face up, both pairs, and then so you've got one side that's got a long edge here and one piece that's got a long edge here. Now what you want to do is you want to take the 2 that have the longest edge on the left. So we're going to pop these 2 to one side, and then what we're going to do is, can you see how if we line them up they match? So that's what we're going to do. We are going to pin them together here, and then do the same. So you've got the long bit on the edge left and the shorter bit on the right, and as the front and the back are exactly the same, then we need to make sure that we're not making mirror images, we're making exactly the same thing. Right, so now we are going to take those to the machine and we're going to stitch across them with the seam allowance stated in the pattern. I'm going to start do the same this side. And now we're going to top stitch. Don't worry that this bit hangs over, it's perfectly fine. Now we're going to top stitch on, oops, sorry, out of frame again. Here, let me move that down a bit more. Now we're going to top stitch onto this bit. Very straight. As I said, don't worry that these two don't quite match up. It's not a problem. So we're going to set these two pieces to one side and we're going to get our exterior pieces. Okay, so we're going to need our pattern piece A, both pieces, a ruler, a marker, preferably one that won't disappear over time, and our panel piece A. Now I'm going to draw a line on there so that I can see. We're going to draw, mark onto here, this line here, and then taking our ruler, we are going to measure down the distance stated in the pattern. Then we're going to draw a line to there, and then we're going to grab our scissors. I am recording, and we're going to cut to there. We'll do exactly the same thing with this one. So we're going to grab the pattern piece, our pen, helps if it lies completely. Pattern piece A. Here. And then down. Line. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera then. Down. And then cut that bit. Right, so now we want to place them both the right sides up, and we want the two lining pockets that we haven't already used. So I'm going to place right side up, then we're going to take the two exterior pocket pieces where the longest edge is to the right and align wrong side up. So we're going to place them along here, making sure that this mark here matches up with that mark there. And we're going to come along to the end and we're going to stitch. And again, I think I've made that too maybe I can't. Feels like too bigger. It is what it says. It feels like it's bigger. And then we're going to put those there, and then we're going to take them to the machine. But don't worry, the pocket piece will extend past this side, that's fine. Now we're going to take it to the machine and we are going to stitch along this line all the way to the end. Making sure we're on construction length. Should go from this side, so I'm just looking for that on my seam. Move it out the way. exactly the same on this side, making sure and now we'll see how good my lines were. I obviously can't do but never mind, hey, can't always read a ruler right. Now we're going to turn, yes, I've used the same fabric as my outside main as my lining for the pockets, just to add a bit of the zhuzh, but you can do whatever you like. That's the great thing about bags. Making your own, you can do whatever you like. Right, so I'm going to fold that over and then we're going to top stitch. Trust the process. It might feel weird, trust the process. This bit stays as it is, don't worry, we will sort it out. It will tell you when in a bit later. Trust the process. Fold it over. Top stitch. Now we're going to attach our B pieces. Right, so you're going to want your B piece with your pocket and your A piece with your pocket. Now we're going to look for this line and we're going to line those up. That is really, really important that those two are lined up. That way though. Making sure your pocket. Right, so you're lining up with that line that you did. It does say to use your cutting mat, but I don't have my cutting mat here. So let's put that there. Line those, make sure those are nice and flat. Oh, that's all hooked up. Is that all hooked up? There is a measurement that tells you how far this should be up against your pocket if you're not quite sure, which it is. So now we are going to get a pin, she says, hoping she's still got one. We're going to pin through there and through there. It shouldn't really pin vinyl, but this will be hidden, so we will this time. And then we're going to add another pin here. We're just going to add another one here, avoiding the vinyl. And we're going to turn it over. So we're now going to stitch along here. I do apologise if you can hear my little mini fan whirling, but it's got really hot in here. We had heavy rain this morning and now it's turned into bright hot sunshine. Okay, so we're going to take this to the machine now and we're going to stitch down here and across here. I have drawn the seam allowance in simply because I do have a feeling I've done this all wrong. simply because I can't see to keep the correct seam allowance. So I've taken the seam allowance stated in the pattern and I've just drawn the line. And we're going to sew across. And as all our layers are actually straight, we're going to sew up here with the seam allowance. Oh. Just to make sure they all stay together. So there you have your pocket. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other side. Okay, so now we're going to want our, well, now we've added our fleece onto the back, we're going to take our connectors and we're going to add our connectors now. I need a ruler. Where's my ruler? And we are going to measure down what it says in the pattern. Would be on just this exactly same pace, wouldn't it? I'm going to use a bit of glue. Yes, I am recording. And we are going to take the middle of that dot and we're going to line it up with the middle of the D-ring. And do the same on this side. Bit of glue to help keep it down. You can use rivets afterwards as well. I'm not, because my rivet press is broken. I can't find my right rivet thing. Right, so I'm going to take that to the machine and we're going to stitch that on. Same on this side. I went a bit off on the one. And then backwards and forwards here a couple of times. And then if you want to add rivets, you can add rivets. I went a bit off on that one. Oh well, not much I can do, because even if I take that out now, it will add holes. Oh, sorry. Need to... I wonder. Okay, so I finished off the second panel on off screen. So that's both connectors set now. So now we're going to do our next piece, which is our side slip pockets. So we're going to want our F and G piece. That's my G pieces, and this is my F piece. Right, so we are going to, oh, you know what I've forgotten to do? Right back, I've got to go and cut out another lining. I'm going to place them right sides together, and then we're going to stitch across them using the seam allowance stated in the pattern. Fold it over. You could take it to the iron. And a top stitch that. Back to top stitch length. Same with this one. Put them together. Stitch. Now you're going to take your G piece. I'm going to find the middle. I'm going to just cut a little V. Again, find the middle and cut a V. Right, so now we're going to take our...
Where do all the caps go?
Right, so we're going to put our bottom piece, no, our side pocket. I'm going to just cut these bits off. And we're going to line this bit up here. And this bit up here. I'm going to line these up, and then we're going to line this up, this bit off. So the pocket is bigger than the side gusset, so it pops out, and it allows, because the side gusset becomes part of the side, so of course it does. But anyway, so now we're going to stitch down that with the seam allowance stated in the button. We're just basting this. So this just means it all stays together as one. Piece. And then using something that isn't going to rub out or disappear, and is a bit lighter than, we won't see this, but we'll give it a go. We're going to measure down the distance stated in the pattern, and we're just going to leave a mark on the edge, and this is for assembling. Hopefully that's in picture. Now we're going to do exactly the same with the other one, and I will be right back. Okay, so now we are going to need our bottom H piece, and what we're going to need to do is find our centres. Fold it in half and just do a little clip. Now we are going to put our side panel wrong sides together with the bottom, and we're going to stitch across there. Gonna open it up. And then top stitch. These flat, it just helps with the bulk as well. So just top stitch shows open. It helps with the bulk when you go to assemble your bag. So take your second one. So hot. Right, and then stitch across. I didn't use construction length, so I just went back open. Let's take that out. we are going to take our two finished exteriors. Right, to try and make sure I keep this in frame. So find our centre, find our centre, put a couple on there, then bring this round so you match up those corners. And then that line that you drew should match up with the corners there. So I always come to the top and then I didn't mark it on this one. You always find if you do the bottom then the top, then you can ease what's left in. You might need to put some little snips in, seam allowance, just to help, because you're trying to put a straight round a curve. So putting some snips in helps move it round. Helps you bend it round the corner. And then the same just here, just in the seam allowance. Much more satisfying noise. Just pin. Now we're going to take that to the machine and we are going to stitch around using the seam allowance stated in the pattern. Making sure we're back at construction length. Remembering to back stitch. All caught. Yay, I like that. That looks rather good, even if I do say so myself. Right, so now we're going to get our next piece, find the middle, Snizzers. Almost landed in my almost empty cup of coffee. One, two, three. I so hope I'm on record. Yes. Again, up here. I always, as I said, I always do a few round the bottom and then a few down the side, because then that tells you how much you've got to feed through, rather than starting on one side. And that's how I used to do it. Start on one side, and then you get to this side and you'd have this much. You're like, ugh, okay. Both coming over. Can't quite see which one's the proper edge. And then let's just put a couple of clips in here to help ease it around the corner. Again here. Couple of little snips. But they are really important if you've got fabric that doesn't have much give in it. It just helps. So things like vinyl and waterproof canvas, something stiff, this just helps give a little. Right, now we're going to sew that with the seam allowance stated in the pattern. Oh no! Oh no! I lost a bobbin chicken. Okay, so I'll finish that bit off and load my bobbin in, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now we've finished our exterior. I did the extra bit off camera and sewed it up. We now want to take our eye pieces and we are going to mark the center, and then using a ruler, where's my big one, we are going to mark the distance in the pattern. Tells you how far in. Oh, didn't do that very well. Come on there. Right, let's elongate that. Right, I'm going to do the same with that one. As you saw, I managed to mess that up because, let's face it, it wouldn't be a clear video if I didn't. So let's draw that down. I'm using a biro because it's inside the bag. I think there's a fly in here, I do apologise. Right, so now we are going to find the middle piece. I'm going to clip the bottom. What's the bottom? Thank goodness. And do the same here on this one. Now we're going to place them right sides together. We're going to sew down here with the seam allowance stated in the pattern, making sure you're on construction length stitch. Now we are going to press the seams open. I'm going to finger press because I have vinyl. We are now going to take our completed exterior. Let me move my machine out of the way. Hold on, let's clear up. Okay, with the bag right side out, we're going to place these the right way round there. Going to place these right sides together. And we're going to pin. So I'm going to pin the middle there. I'm going to pin the middle here, and then I'm going to pin there. I'm going to pin to the middle there. Put a pin there. Again, making sure I line up those two lines. And then here. And then I'm just going to work the rest in. And just by butterflying open those, that helps to distribute the bulk, so you don't have such a big bulk in your seam. And then we're going to stitch around that using the seam allowance stated in the pattern. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this line that we drew to make sure we know when to stop and when to pivot round on our bag. So let's take it to the machine. So I'm going to start on one of the after one of the points, remembering to back stitch, and I've also made sure that my D-ring's down because there's not a huge amount of space here, so I'm going to follow my line, pivot and follow. So I'm following this line here, move it round. So I'm always keeping this, I'm using the washi tape, is where I need to be. So turning again. Oh, my D-rings out of the way. And then as we get to this bit, I'm going to stop, I'm going to lift our foot up and move it this way. Make sure our D-ring's down. There we go. That's your exterior. So now we're going to get our I'm going to use pinking shears. I'm just going to trim down the seam allowance. And this will help the corners turn. You can use normal scissors as well. We're just reducing the bulk from the seam. Making sure you don't cut the seam. If I do mine too hard, then my scissors, as you just saw, seize up. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, hold on. I just went a bit too close then, a bit too scissor happy, so this is going to be interesting. Hopefully, I've got no... Okay, hopefully I've sorted that out. My bobbin had become stuck for some reason. Oh, stupid. There we go. making sure you keep away from the seams like I didn't just. Right, and now we get our really professional pokey tool. And poke out the points. You want to make sure you've removed as much of the bulk from the corners points as you can, so you get a nice crisp, not too bulky turn. Now I'm going to clip that, and then we're going to top stitch it. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll clip it and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have folded them all down. Now what I'm going to do to top stitch, because I don't have a I have a flatbed machine, is I am going to turn it inside out, and then I am going to place my bag this way round up to top stitch length. Actually, I want to get the underneath as well. Let's do it on one of the fabric bits. Am I recording? Yeah. So we're going to remember to back stitch, to do a couple of stitches and then back stitch. Slow and steady wins the race. Go, cut your threads. There is the outside of your bag done. Well done. Now we're to start the lining. now we need our 2K pieces and our L pieces. We're going to take our L pieces, which are our interior slip pockets. We're going to pop them right sides together, and then we're going to stitch them, making sure we go back down to construction length stitch using the seam allowance pattern in the seam allowance. Seam allowance in the pattern even. Open that out. Fold it over. Now we're going to top stitch. We'll take one of our K pieces. I'm going to pop our slip pocket on there. Going to just baste those together. Just check the back side for any bits that overhang. Right, now I'm going to split the pocket however you want. I start at the bottom so that you don't end up with a pucker when you get to the bottom. Back stitch a few times, and there you have your inside pocket. And I'm going to add one of my labels. Try not to get in frame. And I'm just gonna stitch that on. I had bigger ones, but I've used those. To remake some more because these are a bit small, but I'm trying to get into the habit of remembering to add one, although I need to make them bigger for the next time because they're too small. But I've ended up with glue. Impatient much, Claire. Right, so now we're doing interior zipper pocket. So now you're going to need your other K piece, your zipper interfacing. In the pattern it says to use interfacing, but I don't. I just use cotton. And then these are the zipper pockets. Again, there's two different measurements so that when you do it you don't have an overlap, but I get all confused, so I cut mine both to the bigger size and then cut it off afterwards. So you're going to need your zip, and what you're going to do, complete brain fart now, is you're going to have one zipper panel face up. You're going to add your zip to it. So I'm going to stitch it. Flip it over, top stitch. And then we're going to take the other side. We're going to have, it doesn't matter because these are both the same size, but right side up. We're going to just measure these to make sure they come at the same point on the zip. Measure down, back stitch. So hot. Open this out, stitch down. Oh, poodles. Less speed, more, less haste. Oh, I don't know. Slow down, Claire. That's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully I pressed record. Yeah. Trying a different camera angle and I can't see the screen. I just use my phone to record these. Look at this, mess this up big time. Right. Remember to pull it out this time, Claire. To one side for a second. Now we're going to take our K piece and our interfacing, and we are going to find the middle of our lining. So I'm going to just fold it and finger press down. Just do a nip in the bottom one, open it out, finger press the interfacing, press the two together, line them up at the top. Taking our ruler, we're going to measure down the distance stated in the pattern onto our interfacing, and we're going to go down. That's not going to last, Claire. There's my biro. Let's try a different one. That one's a bit heavier. Right. So draw a line. Draw another line, and then each one should measure I can't read a ruler today. So if this bag actually comes together, it will be a miracle. The thing is, I seem to have forgotten how to read a ruler. I'm going to take my stitch length down, stitch along this line, 2, remember which line I needed. Just to there, back stitch. Then we're going to put a cut in the middle. And then we're going to go down as close to those stitch lines as we can. So we're just cutting poke it through. Easier said than done at the moment. Just going to finger press around and take it to the iron and press it if you want. I don't want to. Now we're going to take our zip. We want to make sure if we want it to open left to right, we have our zip on the left side. If you want it to open the other way, you make sure your zip's on this side. If I've got it right, but who knows with me. I'm going to just stick some tape just along here. This is out of the seam allowance, but it will just help me position it. Right, let's see, are we going to get this off in one go or not? Yes. Again. Yes. Right. I'm going to position bottom. And then do top. And when we're happy with how it sits, we can sew it. And my zip's a bit wavy, so it will just have to be a wavy zip today. Now we want to make sure we have both sides of the zip out. I have sewn the zipper pocket together many times. Come down this side. Get to here, we need to stop, lift our foot up and push our zip through. Now we want to cut our zipper tape. And then we want to stitch down, making sure we move this. Oh yeah, can you see this is the overhang, but that's fine. I quite happily cut that off, and then I don't have to worry about which way up I make the zipper. But that's just me, my brain don't like it. And then we're going to fold these two pieces up so that when we go to sew this bottom up at the end, we have a nice flat edge to do it against. So we're going to sew along here, making sure our lining is out of the way. Thought I'd stitched across it then. I'm going to come down this side, making sure we do that bit, and then again making sure we fold this out of the way. And as I dingbat, oh, I'm such a doofus woman. Don't do what I've done and sew the zip the wrong way. Okay, well, I'm just gonna unpick that and I'll be back. Okay, so I have just corrected that. I now have a very small short back pocket. Yours will be longer, but just don't do my mistake and put them on the wrong way. So now we're going to pop that up the right way. We've put our zip in. Now we're going to assemble the outside. So we got our bottom and one of our side panels, and the bottom of another one of our side panels. Now the bottom is the narrower end. I've already stitched one on because I forgot about the pocket, so I went back and did the pocket. Stitch across, open the seams up, once we've done that, we are going to take our large zipper. Right, so you're going to want to get your zipper tape cut exactly to the size specified in the pattern. And look, I even have a Eiffel Tower zipper pull to add to the design. So we're now going to take, they were the right size, oh, for goodness sake. So I'll take them down and draw a line. I might do this slightly different than how Rachel has it in her pattern, but it's just how I've learnt to do this, and this is how my brain works. But we're just gonna fold over. Yes, you might have noticed I did miss. I cut it so one side is slightly longer than the other, but that's fine. I'm going to take that to the sewing machine and I'm just going to sew that down. Sorry, my kids are home from school. So what we're doing is we're just making it so that the ends don't, the zip doesn't fall off the end, the zipper pull doesn't come off the zip. Right. So now we're going to get our zipper panels, and we are going to fold all the edges back. So I'll do one on camera and then I'll do the rest off. If you double whatever it is you need to fold it over by, when you then fold it, you then get the precise amount that it should be turned over by. So we're just taking that to there, and then that gives you the exact fold over. I'll do the others off camera and I'll be right back. Right, so now we're going to place one of the fabric panels right side up. I'm going to take our zip and we are going to place it at the start. Right, so I'm going to just line that up. We're going to stitch that. If you're not sure, what your best thing to do is just do a very small seam allowance. So we're just going to baste this in first. So you've got one less, so you've just got the 2 layers now, and then you'll have 2 layers when you add the next one on, and the next one you'll do the full. I did switch you on, didn't I? Yes. We're just going to do a small seam allowance. We're just basting them together at the moment. Just basted that with a very small seam allowance. Now we're going to take another one of our lining panels. Yes, I've done mine all the same. What I didn't think about. Oops. Oh well. I think my Eiffel Towers are going to be upside down. Shh, don't tell anyone. They'll never notice. Okay, so we're now going to stitch that from this side with the full seam allowance this time. Sorry, my voice has gone funny again. Right, so we're going to sew that with the full seam allowance. And now we'll take those off. over. Well, shh, we won't tell anyone the Eiffel Tower's upside down. Let's fold. Just cut this bit off. Just gonna clip that together. So we're going to top stitch that, she says. And we're just going to go all the way around to baste these together. I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. Let's do right. So again, we're going to line this up here. I'm just going to bring mine in slightly. And then we're just going to stitch down again with the small seam allowance. So we're just going to baste this. We've only got the two layers to worry about. I'm going to grab our other one. Place that on top. Right, I put that a bit too close. So I'm do this ever so slightly, because it's going to make it. Oh, never mind. Worse things happen at sea. Right, now we're going to sew that with the full seam allowance. And by basting the other one, you just have this one, the two layers to worry about, not the three. Yeah, I put that one a bit too close. Should be a little bit more tucked in, like that one. It's been a while since I've done a bag. Pretty much since my last video, actually. Not been well enough. stitch. Just baste these two. Just stitch these down. And there is your zipper tab. Got it. Right, so now we are going to want to find the middle. And now we're going to finish the interior. So we found the middle of the bottom, and we've got the middle of the top there. We're going to pin the, oh dear, that's not very straight, Claire. Never mind. Right, just find the middle here. My fan is dying. There we go. Oh. So we're gonna, again, like we did, line up a couple on the bottom. Come up the side. Please say press, yeah. Don't you just love it when kids play video games? So now we're going to stitch that using the seam allowance in the pattern. She says if she can work out how to do it. My brain is not doing so well now. Instruction length. wrong way. Let's find the middle. Find the middle at the top. Okay, so the eagle-eyed amongst you will realise that this is actually a completely different bag. Oh, sorry. As when I was editing the video, I realised that the last few important steps had been missed. So I'm doing them. I've spent all day making another bag to get it up to where I lost the footage. I didn't lose, it didn't record. I'm going to take our top zipper panel, we're going to find the middle, and then we've got the middle of both the bags here. And then what I'm going to do is find the middle of each of the sides. Now I'm going to keep the bag. Oh, make sure we open that. I'm going to keep the bag wrong side out. I'm going to take our zipper top bit. Sorry, my brain is just completely frazzled now. Taken me about 3 hours to upload the video because nothing wanted to upload this morning, so that was a pain. And then when I did finally get it done, sit down to start editing it, I realised I was missing loads, so I cut out another one to make these steps so we could finish the bag off. Now we're going to take, look, I haven't even, now we're going to take the middle of your zipper tab, zipper pull. We're just going to place it there like so. So I've just put this bit on the hole. So now we're going to take this to the machine and we're just going to baste these on. So you want to make sure that this is facing up. And your zip is up. So we're literally just basting these together. And then along here. It just means that when we then go to add this to the main bag, we're just dealing with 2 layers instead of all the layers. Yeah, and unfortunately this is fabric frays a lot. Right, so making sure we've got our zip open inside. We are going to turn this inside out and pull up. Let me move it out of the way. And pull up this bit. We are now going to turn this inside out, and we're going to drop it in, and we want to make sure that these bits are on the inside of the bag, not at the lining. And now we're going to match up. Oh look, I forgot to find the middles of these ones. See, I told you it's been one of those days. So I think that's about roughly there. I'll do that one first. Roughly there. And then I'm going to line up this one here, and then this bit here with this bit here. And what I will do once I've sewn this is I will use my pinking shears to trim the edges. It says to trim the edges anyway, but by using pinking shears, hopefully I'll stop some of the fraying, hopefully. So we're just going to clip this all the way round. And then we are going to stitch that. We'll take it to the machine, making sure we are on construction stitch, which is about 2.5 on mine, using the seam allowance stated in the pattern. I'm just going to sew all the way round. Horrible feeling I might have sewn some more of the top in. So let's check, have I actually managed to... No! What the ecky ump? Quite know what I've done there. But that's easily rectified. Let's sure we do that up. Let's take this back to the machine. Making sure we remember to go further along to catch the stitches that we've missed, or to stabilize the stitches. Right, where are my pinking shears? Right. So, well done. You've got to the end of the bag. We are going to trim this down. Making sure we don't get any of the rest of the bag, because the way my luck's gone this weekend, who knows. This is quite a thick bit. Hopefully this will stop some of the fraying. That bit, because that's where the zip is. Right, as you can see, this one really does. I've forgotten how much this frays. Right, so now the moment of truth. Look, when you're a crafter and you've got all sorts of stuff stashed everywhere. Planner tab, anyone? Hair clip, right. So there's nothing else in there that shouldn't be. We're going to put our hand in, and we are going to pull out the bag. I'm going to stuff this in. Turn all the corners. Done. Once you're happy, you're going to get your pocket, and where we folded it over, you can go in, where we folded it over, I'm going to bring the machine nearer. Close the pocket, stuff it in, and there we have the assembled bag. So we'll now flip back to the one you've watched through the whole of the video for me putting the straps on. Okay, so I obviously forgot to hit play record on my thing, but I literally just sewed around the top, like you saw me pin it, and then I sewed around the top, and then I turned it through the zip at the bottom, the zip in the side, and then I zipped up the pocket. I am so sorry for not recording that bit, but that is really simple and straightforward, that piece. That's not huge. So now we're going to add our straps. So you see I've put one set on, pop it through, fold it over, pop it through, fold it over, and there you have the bag. We just need to stitch these now. Right, that's one. If I can find my correct rivets, I could put some rivets in, which is what I'll probably do, but at the moment I don't know where the correct size rivets are. So we'll just have to do it this way. And see, it only just wants to go under my needle, my foot. It's messy. Even. Right, so there you have your finished bag. So I will just take all the strings off. Thank you so much for watching, and if you got to the end of this, I'm really sorry a bit didn't record, but you can now make yourself this wonderful bag.